Hi, my name is Sienna Kwai. I want to start off by a quick definition. Throughout my topic, I'm going to be talking about top American companies. These are ones that we know well, household companies such as like Coca-Cola or Dell and stuff, and companies like that. Top American corporations are sending jobs overseas, and this results in them hurting our economy. It's not anything new. It's actually been going on for decades. They noticed that it's cheaper to produce things in foreign countries, so that's what they've been doing. But unfortunately, this number of jobs being sent has it's just had a significant jump since our downfall, especially in the stock market in 2008. First, them taking jobs overseas is hurting the chance of the unemployment rate going down. As you know, it's socially a fact that our unemployment rate is not at a good standing. It's higher than it has ever been. American companies have created more than 1.4 million plus jobs overseas, compared to less than 1 million in the U.S. So you can see it's a 0.4 difference. It's not that much if you think about it, but that's just, they're taking in numbers from just top ones, household ones. They're not taking in consideration the middle companies, which is the companies that produce things that top companies buy in order to make the product that they put out. They're also following that trend so they can get more top businesses to buy their products. They use the excuse that they do this to make products cheaper for us. They say that if they make it here and then they put it in stores such as Target and Walmart, we won't buy it because it's too expensive. But if we're not working because they're not supplying jobs, how are we supposed to buy it anyway? Besides in price, in most cases, if you go on the FTA website, they show you the difference in the cost it would be for certain things, and it's not that much of a difference. I believe the most it cost in difference was about $1, and that was on rare cases. So not only are these corporations sending these new jobs overseas, it's not they're just making new ones, but they're also relocating the ones that we have in the United States already. There's a rising number of applications for the Federal Trade Adjustment Assistance. That's basically just an organization made by the government to assist factory workers who lost their jobs because their company have relocated their work overseas. So like I said, there's a rising number of applications. Actually, it's tripled in this past year. We're not counting 2009 or 2008 and before. So on top of that, we don't know how many men and women who have been laid off. Some of them just go straight to unemployment. So we're not sure, we're not exactly too sure. In fact, the applications may have quadrupled or even more. They're not taking into consideration the factory workers who just went into unemployment instead of the FTAA. Yeah, the jobs being overseas, you would think it's just basic labor like sweatshops. Like I'm sure most of you know that Nike has had some controversy over it. You think it's just normal things like making clothes and basic labor. But actually, according to a Dateline not too long ago, they're giving away more sophisticated jobs, more technological aspects, even software technicians. People who go to school and learn master's degree and spend so much time, they no longer think they're no longer safe in the aspect of, well, I won't be affected by that because I still went to school. I'm still very valuable. But this isn't the case anymore. We're sending like most software and stuff, it's being sent to China, it's being sent to India. So that's also hurting America. It's not just basic labor where some people you think, oh, we don't want to be in sweatshops, we don't want to be in factories. It's all jobs that maybe we will become one day. Like I said, the jobs are being relocated. Here are a few companies that you know of. The Hilton Hotel Company, the Hewlett-Packard Company, the HP Computer, Dell, and JP Chase. Out of all the people in America, I think the ones who should be mostly upset about the company who does it is Chase. As Americans, we put our hard-earned money into accounts there. We hold accounts, mortgages, car loans, and what they're doing is they're sending jobs overseas and paying people over there with our own money. Like for instance, if you call like a tech support, you're most likely going to get someone in a different country. So these companies all close down their centers, even some headquarters, and pretty much move their whole company, not just jobs, but basically put their central headquarters in other countries. This resulted in hundreds and thousands of layoffs of not only factory workers, but also some people on the board and like people who have been to school and got degrees. It is a little confusing that our stock market is recovering from its incident in 2008 at a steady pace, yet people are still looking for jobs and receiving their unemployment checks in the mail. The reason for this is because companies are booming overseas and selling more products and receiving more profit now in foreign countries. The fact that these jobs are now overseas is not only hurting our economy, but also our morale as Americans. People who are looking for jobs notice it is becoming increasingly harder to find one. This should be a socially known fact. We can measure how much our morale and hope has fallen in the fact that companies are reporting an actual downfall in applications being turned in. How is this to be when our unemployment rate is sky high? The answer is because our morale is so low we feel helpless. Why bother, some people may ask themselves. Companies seem to have forgotten about us and running to where the money is. Basically, companies see us that we're no longer a profitable country, so they run to where the money is, leaving us behind. So the whole purpose of this speech is, I know it's kind of a risky topic, but I believe that our government should interfere, and if not stop, but reduce the amount of jobs being sent overseas by corporations.
All right, well, I'm not really clear what the inference is on this. It really sounds like you're describing an economic situation. If there's an argument that says that it's unnecessary to do this, that should be the claim. If there's an argument that says that the cause of this is greed, well, then that could be a claim. If at one point you suggest that there's not really any substantial cost savings from doing this, and you mention a vague reference to maybe a $1 difference on some products, well, in essence, you're saying that based on that $1 difference for the item of product that they're talking about, they're shipping the jobs overseas. I think that's one of those places where maybe there's an inference to say that this amount of money is not really a substantial enough benefit for companies to be able to be making the changes that they're doing. Then maybe there's some argument about that. Of course, that also seems to undermine the claim that you're making. At the end, you've got a claim of policy that you're arguing for rather than a claim of fact. So I've got a lot of information that's being presented. I'm not sure what inference I'm supposed to draw from it. There needs to be a lot more structure on the supporting points because information just starts pouring out and I'm not sure how it's all connected on the particular points. The sources on some of the data is also a little bit problematic. I got references to a Dateline story not too long ago, but it's not a direct quote. I'm not exactly sure what is being said there. It sounds like kind of a paraphrase. You've got this example about Chase, but I don't get a source citation on that, and I think that there needs to be an explanation of where you got this information. The one example that you had, for instance, on the dollar, that was also a vague reference. So I think that there's some problems with the argument in trying to figure out where you're going with this. Now, there are a couple places where there is some good statistical information about the number of jobs that are created in the last year in the U.S. versus overseas. Whether or not those jobs are competitive with each other, I think there is potential argument there, but we don't really get enough information in your speech on that as an issue to be able to make an assessment. I thought you did an okay job trying to present to the audience. Like I said, though, I think it's a little bit fuzzy as to what the argument is all about. All right, thank you.